Spoiler alert, I watched the Tyler Perry Ruth and Boaz movie, so you don't have to. If you're expecting anything with depth, think again. This is a Tyler Perry movie with a sprinkle of Hallmark Christmas love story. Let's unpack it. Okay, so the Ruth and Boaz movie by Tyler Perry is on Netflix at the moment. It actually got released today, so I watched it today and I'm filming this. It got released on the 26th of September. It was produced by Tyler Perry and Devon Franklin, and it's supposed to be a modern day adaptation of the Ruth and Boaz story, the Book of Ruth in the Bible. But if you are expecting any biblical depth from this movie, just think again. This is literally a Hallmark love story movie with a little razzle dazzle of God in it. In case you want to watch it, this is going to be a little bit of a spoiler. I would do my best not to spoil it for you guys, but here's my honest take. I'm assuming a lot of us are kind of familiar with the story of Ruth, even maybe we don't know too much about it, but to some degree we kind of know. So the story by Tyler Perry is like I said, a modern day adaptation, and it's of a woman, Ruth, that is an artist, but she had this like internal battle of like doing worldly song. She's into music, doing worldly song, and she just felt like her purpose was leading her somewhere. She decided to walk away from a big music contract to go find herself. And in the midst of all of this, her man, a boyfriend, and her boyfriend's dad got killed. So the music producer essentially, just because she walked out at a time where they were going to get a lot of money, started doing some crazy stuff. And the whole movie is about her, how she's kind of like escaping that and like living with Naomi, not her mother-in-law, because it was a boyfriend, just kind of living with her boyfriend's mother, and they moved to Tennessee and she met Boaz, and the story goes on. I just want to pick out a few things. I think the story of Ruth, and I really want you guys to go read it, it's just 4 chapters. It's the Book of Ruth, 4 chapters. It's not that long at all, and it's a very interesting story. So my first thought is, I feel like the tragedy was really downplayed. Like we as the audience didn't feel any tragedy. The Book of Ruth is actually built on God redeeming people from famine, death, loss, and that core was not shown. And yes, we're trying to do a modern adaptation of a story in the Bible, but I think the key concept cannot be lost when you even, whether it's modern day or not. The key concept, which is tragedy, was such a big part of the Ruth and Boaz story, and not displaying that, I think, did a big injustice. We didn't feel the loss. Yes, the mother cried. Yes, Ruth cried. It also felt like Ruth did not even mourn the death of her boyfriend. It just felt like she just kind of got on with it, got to Tennessee and tried to look for a job, and it just felt like it was quick. We as the audience did not feel the tragedy, which is the foundation of the story of Ruth. You know what I mean? It wasn't acted properly. We didn't see any deep emotions. It was just not acted properly in a way that we could connect to the tragedy and the loss. I didn't feel nothing. I didn't feel nothing. I didn't feel no sadness, nothing. I was just like, guys, please, we must do better. I also think one of the traits that Ruth was known for and what made her a very special woman in the Bible is her service. A service and a loyalty and devotion to Naomi, and a service towards Boaz. That service without expectation, especially towards Naomi, just unconditional, saying, wherever you go, I will go. There's nothing attached to it. She just served this woman with complete devotion. But in this movie, there was something attached to it. Ruth was escaping danger. She was escaping someone that was after her, that killed her man, and she was escaping, and that's why she went with Naomi. So already that pure act of service is already missing, because this girl was trying to escape. She was trying to escape. Yes, she prayed. Yes, she said, God, show me what to do. And apparently God told her to follow Naomi. But I feel like the core, which is what Ruth is very special for in the Bible, is that pure devotion. Pure. But this one just felt like it was very conditional. It was conditional because I'm escaping danger, so I'm gonna go to the furthest place I can get to, which is Tennessee, and that's where you're going. I'm gonna come with you. That's what it felt like. I feel like that act of pure devotion, again, was not shown in this. It was shown a little bit. It just wasn't shown properly. It just felt like it was conditional. You know what I can't stand? And I feel like a lot of movies need to stop doing this. I am sick of it. You know, when like in a typical cheesy movie, when like the man that we know she's gonna end up getting with, the rich, handsome man comes to approach you, the girl, the main character, and she just has a bad attitude. She's just like rude. She's like dismissive of him. She's like, "What do you want? I can buy my own drinks." And I'm just like, can we stop doing that nonsense, please? Can we just act normal? Normal people don't behave like this. If a rich, handsome man comes up to me today, I would not be giving him an attitude. Every love story that's cheesy does this. Ruth in the Bible, she had so much respect for Boaz. She has so much humility to Boaz. This woman slept at his feet. This whole story of her having an attitude towards Boaz and being like, yeah, it was for the first part until she softens up and they began their romance. But it's like, there's no need to add that part. I'm just tired. It's the same narrative. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. All these cheesy love stories, they always do this. Let's all just collectively stop doing this. I just feel like, again, it just didn't depict the actual story of Ruth's complete humility towards Boaz. She worked so hard and she was humble, which we didn't really get from this movie. It just keeps scratching the surface of this like main core lessons in the actual story of Ruth, and it just keeps scratching the surface and not going deep, which again, which just I think it's such a shame, because if we're going to do the movie, if we're going to do a movie of Ruth, you better do that thing and get into the deep lessons of humility, devotion, service, and put that thing in modern day and do it in a way that, and tragedy, and do it in a way that makes us, the viewers, uncomfortable. Do it in a way that challenges our faith. That challenge that makes us want to serve better, that makes us want to be humble, that makes us want to devote to somebody, that makes us want to seek the redemption of God, and don't just do a typical love story for the sake of it, because this one did not teach anybody any lessons. My final thought, which is the biggest one, is where is God? Yes, God was mentioned. Yes, there was gospel music. Yes, she kind of like prayed, and apparently God directed her to go to Tennessee, like I said. There was like little razzle dazzle of God in it, but I don't think the God factor was at the center of this movie. Like, yes, this is a Christian movie. You know what I mean? I feel like God was mentioned and God was incorporated, but I don't think it was enough for me. If you're going to do the Ruth story, God is at the core of it. It is essentially God transforming the story of tragedy, loss, death, and turning it into something beautiful with purpose, and giving Ruth a purpose and redeeming Ruth. I think that was missed in the story. Sometimes it's just not enough to mention God. I feel like it's not just enough to sing gospel songs. I think it has to be at the core of the story, that this story is about God's redemption, which was not shown. If you're going to do a Christian movie, if you're going to do an adaptation of a book in the Bible, you better put God at the center and make the viewers see the redemption of God and feel the redemption of God. That when we finish watching that movie, our faith is challenged, that we see something bigger than ourselves. But this, no. In conclusion, it was a decent movie. It's light entertainment that adds some romance, love story, a bit of God in it. It's easy to watch. I think if you have your family, I also personally think it's best to watch this with people. Just have a family together and have a light, entertaining watch. I think you're still going to enjoy it, but I just personally think it was very shallow and it didn't go into the depth that I just needed it to go into. I recommend that you go and watch it. You probably would enjoy it. If you really want to know the real story of Ruth, go open your Bible. Go to the Book of Ruth. It's 4 chapters. If you really want to get into God's humility, devotion, faith, redemption, if you want to really get into it and understand understand the story of Ruth and Boaz, go open your Bible and read it. Don't rely on Tyler Perry to tell you that story. But anyways, guys, what do you guys think? If you've seen it, please let me know your thoughts. Did you enjoy it? What are your thoughts? Do you think I'm being too critical of this? And if you haven't seen it, I hope I haven't ruined it for you. I know I have, but I really hope you still go and watch it and form your own opinion and come and let me know. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.